Hey,
What's going on,
Ty.
Michael?
Hey, I'm
How
great,
you
Tiger. How
doing,
about
boss?
you?
I'm doing
I'm
all
great. What
right
about
for a
yourself?
Sunday. Yeah, doing all right. Doing all right. Just kind of relaxing and resting all day. Hung out with my girlfriend yesterday, and she had a she lives right next to a set of neighbors, and they're all from Nicaragua, and they're really really cool
Oh, okay.
people. So they had a birthday party for their 18-year-old, just turned 18. So yeah, had all the good music playing and Spanish flying around everywhere.
You know
Yeah,
I know Mexican parties. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. I can make out a lot of stuff they're saying. I mean, I took the classes when I lived in Mexico City, but I'm not 100% fluent. But especially when they start speaking real fast, it's kind of difficult for me to
Yeah.
understand. But I can
Yeah.
tell whenever they're picking on somebody, and they whipped out the tequila, and I said, "Nope, not going down not going down that path."
Yeah,
Had a couple
yeah.
of beers. That was
No,
it.
trust me,
Yep.
I totally understand. We had my girl's birthday party was Friday, so when we got off the stream, I had to go
Yep.
pick up the tostillas and el pollo and a few
Mm,
extra things. And yeah, it was amazing to say the least. Everybody showed up. It was a blast. We had super, super, super fun.
good
Um,
deal.
then Saturday we
Yeah.
had another group of our friends. They are leaving. Leaving. I live in Puerto Morelos, and they're leaving. They're moving to San Miguel, and
Okay.
so it's just the three of them. So they have a going away party. So Friday's party, Saturday party, and then today we just kind of relaxed. Had some the masseuses come over, give us some massages, get ready for the
Yeah.
week, and now I'm here.
Nice. No, that's great. That's great. Yeah. I still needed to rest. I slept in pretty well today, but that was a
Nice.
good time.
Nice.
Good time. Well, shoot, man. Just a little while ago, I was seeing that Trump struck a deal with Ursula over there in
Oh,
was it Scotland for the Euro US
yeah.
deal. Yeah, so they got their
Hmm.
framework up and running. So I don't know. Did you see any of these details? It's it's pretty
No,
crazy.
I didn't. I didn't
Yeah.
actually. The only
So
thing I saw was the Mexico and Canada striking that deal. That's the only thing I really
oh
saw.
okay. Oh, okay, I got you. Yeah. So this U.S. Euro deal just basically the eurozone has agreed to a $600 billion investment into the U.S. Now that's above and beyond what they already invest. So
Right.
there's that, and then also $750 billion is what they'll buy in energy from the U.S. So man,
What?
that's huge numbers. You're talking of what 1.3 trillion,
Yeah.
1.4 trillion, whatever that number comes out to be. But biggest deal of
Yes.
all time, it appears. And then it looks like they're also going to
Remarkable.
be paying 15% tariff to the U.S. as well. So
Mm.
they both seemed happy. I mean, I watched the post conference after they finished their meeting, and yeah, I don't know. They looked
Right.
happy to me. I know Trump looked happy, but Ursula, she looked happy-ish, I would say. The president of the ECB there, or the Eurozone, I should say. But yeah, so yeah, hopefully that'll. I mean, so far it's helping my euro dollar trade I opened on Friday actually. So we're seeing a pretty
Gotcha.
nice spike in the euro. Um, but yeah, it's kind of funny because that's another trade I was going to close out before the end of the day
Hmm.
on Friday, but I woke up too late. So
Oh.
I woke up at about yeah, I woke up about 4:40. I even set my alarm for 3:30 so that I could get up and make sure to close it by the end of market for a 4 o'clock
Hmm.
close here in the Central Time Zone. And yeah, got
Right.
up 45 minutes late. I said, "Well,
And
we're
that
just
was
going to
it.
have to risk it." Yeah, risk it to biscuit. And I knew that trade negotiation was coming, so I was kind of sweating it over the weekend. But I will say I did luck out because, yeah, euro is definitely popping off, and it actually got gapped up. I'll back in. Go ahead and pull up my chart if you would. We'll just take a quick peek at it. take a quick
Yeah.
peek and
No,
see.
that's awesome.
Yeah,
Gotta love when it
yeah,
plays
yeah,
out for you.
yeah. Well, I figured it was. I felt pretty good about it. I mean, all the talks and all the legwork that the two sides have done, as far as
Right.
the trade negotiators, they seem to have taken care of the brunt of the work. So they just basically needed Trump and Ursula to get together to kind of close the deal. So,
Yeah.
I knew that was coming. I thought, well, I'm just going to hope and chance that they're going to strike a deal. And because they were only 50-50, they both were saying that they were only about 50-50 if they thought they were going to get this deal up and running. But it turns out they did. And it
Right.
only took them an hour, because I was
Oh
watching
man.
the little press conference they had right before they started the negotiation. And President Trump said, yeah, it shouldn't take about an hour. They'll figure it out. They only had like 3 or 4 things they wanted to talk about. And then,
He
an hour
knew
later, the press
that was
came
it.
back in and they said, struck a deal. Yep.
Awesome.
But
Awesome.
yeah, just
Well, I see we got a few people jumped on the stream here. Looks like Kevin Benjamin. Let's go. What's up, Kevin?
what's going on, Kelvin?
Also, looks like we got
Let
a
it be.
Letty B7. Yeah, Letty
Let it
B.
be.
What's
Yep.
up? What's up? And my FX
What's going
node
on?
saying, "What's up, Tiger Michael? What's up? What's up? Thanks for
Yes,
joining us.
sir.
We
Yes, sir.
appreciate it. Let's get into
Yeah.
this. Is the start of the next week, right? Where you kind of playing out what's going on and kind of get your bearings together after Friday, Saturday. So wise of you guys to show up here today for sure.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean,
Awesome.
this is always my favorite day to just take a look at the upcoming calendar for the week. And for me, I like to
Right.
take a look at the COT report that comes out Friday evenings. So,
Mhm.
that way I can at least see what the big banks and institutions are doing, what they bought, what they sold,
Right.
what they kind of stayed neutral on, and then really just kind of dig deeper into my economic surprise meter, which shows me what percentage of reports got beat expectations, or what percent did not beat expectations, or whether it was just flat and they met expectations. I mean, that's really the brunt of what I do on Sundays. I don't typically get into a trade usually on Sundays, although today I'm obviously
Mm.
monitoring the trade that I was in from Friday. So,
Right.
but yeah, as you can see, I mean, it was euro dollar's been up for quite a while, but yep, gapped up about 10, 12 pips. This is what you call a novice gap, meaning it gapped up above the close because it's in an uptrend. Um,
Mm.
a lot of people think, well, when it comes to gaps, a lot of people like to try to close that gap, right? Trade back towards
Yeah.
that point. But what I would tell everybody is be careful when it's a gap like this, because anytime you gap up in an uptrend, that's not
Mm.
always a guarantee it's going to come back. If it gaps below, like if it would have gapped below this area here, that's what you call a pro gap. So a pro gap means
Mm.
that's a good place to start looking to buy and close that gap. But yeah, for anybody thinking about selling to close that gap, be careful because it's in an uptrend. That's what I would say.
Yeah.
I don't know.
No, for sure.
Do you do much with gaps at all, Michael?
No, so I'll be honest. I just know, like, I don't deal with it specifically, but from what I've heard, that other traders uh, know or think that they're going to fill that gap, so they like to trade towards the direction of the gap, be it long or short.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, that doesn't really do anything for my strategy or like my approach, but I do
Mm-hmm.
consider that when taking trades, 'cause I think everyone else thinks that. So I just try
Right.
to be
Yeah.
mindful of it a little bit.
Yeah. So, I mean, I'm already in this trade, but if I weren't in this trade, excuse me, then I would be waiting to see if the gap just closed on its own and buy underneath a little bit, buy under value. So,
Mhm.
you know,
Right.
30 minutes, we do have this major contraction box when we're talking master patterns. So we're getting that push up, collect liquidity. We've already gotten the push down to collect liquidity under here. Obviously, we're getting another
Mhm.
push up to collect liquidity here, and it's in a supply zone on a 30-minute time frame. So, the logical thing to think is, you could possibly buy where the Friday close was, obviously, because it's pretty well given you. I don't know why the algorithm isn't seeing this, but it's given you a demand zone candle here from the Friday
Mhm.
close. And then obviously a little further down, there's another one. So, yeah, I mean, a logical move would be just to wait till price comes back for a potential buy. Just close that gap. But yeah, again, I wouldn't sell it on the way down just because it is an uptrend.
Nah.
So,
And I feel like market makers think everyone else thinks that anyway, so they try to do the opposite. So I think there's no real, and unless I don't know, I don't see any real data versus them trying to fill the gap. I know at one point there were like certain style traders were saying that, hey, it's a 75% chance that it'll fill the gap. I mean, I don't really know about it. I just know that other people look at that. That's it.
Yeah. Yeah, I gotcha. Yeah, I mean, I kind of messed around with it years ago, trying to buy and sell gaps, but I didn't really get. That's really before I understood trading. That was one of the first things I tried doing. Yeah. But yeah, I don't know.
I think that's I never really, right? Because a lot of stock traders will do that. They call it gap and crap, like the gap and crap style. So
gap and crap.
I think it's more like stocks, but maybe not so much currencies. I don't know.
Yeah, no, I hear you. But yeah, I mean, obviously, if you kind of continue the trend of collecting liquidity on either side, like we've done, I mean, then I could definitely see a pullback to this zone, even if it didn't get a bounce off of that close from Friday, because you do have some demand in this area. In fact, you got an hour demand zone within a 4 hour, so there's a 1 hour demand. Or no, I'm sorry, that's a 30-minute demand. And then I think if you go to, was it 2 or 4 hours? Yeah, then you've got a bigger demand zone. So it's got the confluence demand inside of demand. Now, when I bought this, or when I bought into this trade on Friday, it was giving me a bullish reading of a 5. Now, let me see, because I think it actually went down to a 4. But that, again, is just the economic reading. So by the time you add in the trade deal, that's definitely going to be good for the Eurozone. So that, to me, that adds another point, right? Just the catalyst, the news catalyst of the deal itself. So yeah, it's showing me a score of a 4, but I would still stay bullish on it just because of that trade deal. It's obviously good news.
For sure.
I mean, one good report like that can kind of
update every once a week or something. So they just need to update that. I'm sure to be above a 4.
Well, so the trade deal isn't something inside of my Edge Finder because it's just the GDPs, the retail sales. But yeah, this is where you get a general understanding of the economic direction, and then obviously, yeah, when you got a trade deal coming up or a rumor of it, it's obviously something to be aware of because, I mean, that's the way I see it. I mean, basically that deal is going to add another point or two, on top of the economics. So, which would make it a bullish score. So kind of complex, but that's just kind of the best way I figure it out.
No, I hear you. That makes sense.
Yeah. But yeah, we can take a look at the COT report if you like, real quick.
Yeah. So let's run through the news and then I guess like some technical stuff and kind of what we're looking at. If anything, I know it's super early. Market kind of just settled. So yeah, I got a few things to show here.
Immediately you're looking at?
Nah.
Did you have anything?
I wouldn't jump into a trade this early.
I didn't think so.
A little time.
Let it shake itself out, but yeah, just looking off screen here. Yeah, just looking off screen here, they did actually buy gold. So gold was the most positive net change that the big banks institutions bought into. It was 1.56% gain. So it's not like a huge amount, but it's still it's higher than all the currencies. I mean, the Canada dollar was the highest currency at 1.22% increase. So again, this is long increases on the futures market, right? So 1.22% gain for the Canada dollar. Japan was the same, 1.22. So the yen was the same. Aussie dollar, 0.99%. And then that, I think, and then the US dollar was a very modest 0.44%. So not a whole lot. I mean, it looks like for the dollar, they did increase 663 long contracts. And then they also increased 449 short contracts. So that just barely gives it a tiny, tiny bullish bump, just from the COT data. But switching gears, looking at what they sold out of the most, listen to this. So the Nikkei, and this was one of the better performing ones last week. I kept getting bullish reading after bullish reading, but they actually decreased, or I should say they decreased 3,800 contracts of longs, and then they decreased a smaller amount of 655 contracts of shorts. So that's minus 14.5%. So, yeah. I mean, the way I see that is they must have been doing a lot of profit taking, because if we look at the Nikkei over here, let me just click on it. Yeah, I mean, you guys can see it's just obviously we we had that big giant spike on, what was that, Tuesday. So yeah, I mean, you can see it plain as day. This is definitely where the institutions were taking profits. They had to have been.
For sure.
And again,
for sure,
almost 15%. That's crazy. So, yeah, and that's despite that, yeah, that's a huge number, because the highest number I think I'd seen on that previously was like something that was like 20%. I think that was when the New Zealand dollar had increased their longs, but by like 22%. But yeah, this being, what I say, 14.5%. That's crazy. Well, not too far behind it this week, New Zealand dollar. They actually increased their shorts by 11.98%, so 12%. So that's interesting. That's interesting too, because the New Zealand dollar is still the strongest currency on the economic surprise meter. It's still sitting at 88%, I think it was. So again, it sounds to me like they're just taking profits. I don't know how you would read that, but that's kind of the way I see that.
No, yeah, pretty much more of the same.
Yeah. British pound.
Well, they still got some positions running. They're definitely taking some profits for sure.
Yeah, definitely. I don't blame them either, especially with that spike on the Nikkei. But British pound minus 8.3%. So and that's not too surprising, because, well, the pound's been just, I don't know. It seems like their surprise meter's been, actually, they're the second worst right now. I think they're at 50%. The dollar actually bumped up to over 60% positive economic surprise meter, is what I'm trying to say. But here's what it all boils down to for me, if I get rid of my neutrals over here on my edge finder. So every single thing that matches up with the British pound, it's given. So yeah, all the British pound pairs are bearish readings. So pound CAD -8, pound Aussie -9, pound Jap and pound dollar -10, pound Swiss -11, and then pound New Zealand -12. So it's definitely whatever I can do to short the pound this week, I'm doing it. And then on the opposite side, euro pound, since it's the quote currency, it's giving me a +7. So that's
so it sounds like we probably want to look for opportunities to go short on the pound and opportunities to go long on the euro pound.
Exactly. Yep. That's it. Because that's literally that's almost all of my bearish or bullish scores for currencies. The only other one is the Euro CAD, which is a bullish score of a 5. So that's it. And then obviously when I factor in the indices, I still have the NASDAQ up there at 9, Dow at 8, S&P at 7, and then the Nikkei is still on there at 5. But I probably wouldn't be too interested in placing some buys on the Nikkei, especially since the big banks turn around and profited out, right? So that's just my reading on it. I mean, if we get a really deep retracement, somewhere down in this area, maybe, but that's just too expensive up there. For my taste. I mean, I do have an alert set right here on a smaller time frame, but yeah, I just don't feel too comfortable with that. Because if it gets down in this area, then who's to say it's not going to turn around and come all the way down? So,
right,
yeah, that's kind of the way I see that. But yeah, right before the stream, I did kind of go through all the pound pairs and look at where I would put some alerts to sell the pound, and yeah, so what I say. Okay, so yeah, pound Swiss.
Definitely what I'm going to be doing. That's what I'm definitely going to be doing, and I actually cannot wait for one of these pairs to set up, because I don't know if you know this, Tiger, but in a way, with your fundamental approach and my technical approach, there might be something there. Super curious to
Yep.
see any of these pairs set up for me to go short, based on my system and the market maker structure, and it panned out this week. Like, I'm super curious
Yep.
to see. So,
It'll be yeah, no, it'll be a cool week to watch. But yeah, pound Swiss, 1 hour time frame, got a zone up in this area, so I do have an alert there. Yeah, just give me, as always, I like to see that manipulation before it does hit my zone. So just give me some kind of price action like that, and I'll be interested. Give me a 15-minute bearish engulfing candle with some volume, and it'll be off to the races. So, in fact, because I am in a long position on the pound or on the, oh wait, I'm sorry, that's euro dollar. So never mind. So pound, I can do whatever. Never mind. Yeah, scratch that thought. I was thinking I was in the pound long, but it's the euro longs. So ignore that.
Gotcha.
But yeah, that's pound
Lola,
Swiss.
looks like Lola just joined us. Welcome.
Hello, Lola. If y'all have any questions on any charts or anything, fundamentals, let us know. I mean, we can definitely go through. We do have an hour with you, or I guess now we're down to 35 minutes already. So it's gonna be a quick segment, and I'll be on with you later. By the way, Michael, for the later session.
Oh yeah, I saw it. We can definitely get into it a little bit deeper a little bit later for the quiet market.
Yeah, absolutely. So yeah. But anyway, yeah, I'll just breeze through these real quick. Yeah, pound Aussie, same thing. I do have a zone up here in this area. Yeah, and then I like that also because I did put a VWAP line from this low bottom down here, and it's just kind of going right through that zone. So, just a little bit. As always, I like to try. I like dynamic supports and resistances when they go through my zones. I mean, it just looks great. And then obviously you got some downtrend lines over here. So, yeah, I mean, ideally, I'd love to see something like, where's my drawing tool? Something like this. Just have VWAP continue coming on over this way.
Mm-hmm.
And then just have price, excuse me, have price come up. Ideally, strike right in there on that VWAP and on one of these downtrend lines. Now, the reason those downtrend lines are different is because, what am I doing? I'm drawing this wrong. I was putting my manipulation on the wrong side. But yeah, come up here and sell. So I just looking at the day. Was it the daily I looked at? Here, I'm going to go full screen this so I can see it easier. Yeah, because I basically had went to the line chart and I just looked at where the body's closed. So there's a close there, and there's the next highest close there. I like to kind of do it with the bodies and the wicks when I'm just strictly looking at resistances.
Right.
Just sometimes they can kind of create a zone itself, kind of a dynamic. In this case, it would be more like a supply area or support. So now this one is crisscrossed because of, again, when I put the regular candles back on, we got the wick highs up here and up here. So yeah, sometimes it actually creates a nice little zone on the way down or up, depending on, if it's an up or down trend. So, but anyway, yeah. So just more resistance points I like to see on that. Euro pound is, it's getting up there pretty expensive as well. It is also bouncing through a former resistance point, but let's see, did that close over there on the daily? Okay, so on the daily, it closed underneath. So, yeah, I mean, I can definitely see it pushing up, especially because of this deal. Yeah, it's up there. I'm not interested in buying anything up there. That's too expensive. But yeah, if we can get a retracement down into this is I think an hour demand within the daily. So I do like that area. And then I found a closer area as well right here on a 1 hour. I like this one because it does have that resistance point from back in the past going right through the zone. So it might take a stab at that. But yeah, I think everything else up in this area might be a little pricier than what I want to pay. Especially, and I wouldn't get it anyway because I'm already in a euro trade.
Right.
Now, that's a euro. That's a long. I mean, that's a 4-hour zone trade or a higher time frame. I'd be interested in maybe look at some smaller time frames though. For a euro denominated pair or a dollar denominated pair. But yeah, it's all about the pound. So just finish off these pound pairs real quick. 4-hour zone. Yeah. I mean, this has just been a perfect looking up, down, up, down, up, down. So you got resistance up top, support in this area here. It's bouncing through a daily demand at the moment. But again, since I'd be wanting to short this only, yeah, just give me that little bump up to the supply there and sell her down. And then
nice
pound dollar. Yeah, pound dollar, same thing. I mean, got that zone on top of a zone, which I put another red box over both of those zones just to make it one big zone. So alert set on that one, same thing. Zzz, 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 zzz. Just like that. Yeah, and then that's basically it. It's very few currencies for me this week. It's literally just the pound. All I care about is selling the pound and maintaining my euro dollar trade at the moment.
Bro, I'm literally going to be watching for that same thing nearly.
Yeah, but
I'm doing a mini experiment with all of that. Like the fundamental side of it, it's a mini experiment for me. Like I'm gonna try my best not to let that like persuade me into doing anything, obviously, but at the same time, that's going to be, because every week what I like to do is look at what happened last week, what I did right, what I did wrong, if there's anything I need to improve on, anything I need to double down on, in the news. That's like what I do every Sunday, right? So this week, with that information that you just gave me, is going to be one of those, all right, let's make sure we're looking at these pound shorts. Anything that's kind of close, just be a little bit mindful of pound shorts this week. And Euro GBP is so high, I don't think I'm going to be able to go long on that at all. So we'll see. But yeah, more or less pound short for sure. So
yeah, that's true. I mean, even the indices look the same way. Look at that, NASDAQ is freaking going crazy.
Gapped up. And this is exactly why I always say holding trades over the weekend is a gamble. Seriously, unless you're up big, because this tends to happen and you're done. You're baked chicken.
Right. Yeah. No, I lucked out on mine. I lucked out. I probably should have very easily been stopped out already. Or gap on the other side of the stop, which would be even worse, right?
Yep.
I knock on wood, but so far I've never been burned doing it. And I know it's just a matter of time, and then I'll probably be like, you dummy, this is why you don't hold trades open over the weekend.
Right. And then the turn. But oh, really? That's never happened to you? Hold my beer.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, it looks like S&P hasn't really. Oh, I don't think the S&P's even open yet. But we do have. Wait. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm looking at the wrong. I was looking at the indices, not the CFDs. So yeah, S&P gap up on the NASDAQ, Dow Jones gapping up, Russell 2000 gapping up. Japan actually gapped up too. The DAX in Germany, it fell off. The DAX fell off of my bullish bias, so it's no more at the moment. Even the UK gapped up a little bit. So gold gapped down. You would have expected that. Of course, it's retraced everything. Just as everybody should know, anytime you got something good for the U.S. dollar or the market, the gold typically does the opposite. So, but look, it's closed the gap already.
In the first hour.
Wow. Yeah, and let's see. So daily, So again, we've just had all this cluster, for a while. But I'm still not interested in gold, even though it is kind of bouncing in the zone. It looks like. First of all, it fell off my bullish bias scale. But not only that, I just needed out of that zone. I know we were kind of complaining about it last week, Richard. All of us were, but I would prefer to wait till I see a close above all this mess and then come back to find a zone. That's really what I'm interested in.
Right.
I mean, even
No,
even just
gold
above
definitely
where
looks more short and long to me at this point.
What's that? Gold as well.
Gold, it definitely looks more short than long to me at this point for sure.
Yeah. So last week it was giving me like a 5 or a 6, but now it's down to a 3. So yeah, just barely. But I think let's see on the COT report. So yeah, again on the COT report they did increase longs, but if it weren't for that, they would have only been at like a score of a 1. So basically right at neutral. But I think that gave a couple points. Let me see here. Gold. Yeah. So of the 3 score that it has, 2 of those points were the COT bump.
Yep, so, I see RSS SX saying, morning, fellas. Big news about the Fed meeting on Tuesday. Yes.
That's right. That's right. Yep. Let's see if I can do this real quick. I just want to see if I can pull up real quick. Yeah, let's see if that looks decent. Yep, there's the calendar right there. Fed meeting, like you said, on Wednesday. And then, gosh, if there was ever a time where they actually release a number that is not the forecasted number for the Fed funds rate, I don't know. I could see it being this one to drop it to 4.25, but you don't ever see that. I mean, if you look at the history of that report, anytime it's forecast, it's pretty much spot on all the time for the funds rate. Yeah, just kind of looking through. Oh, there was one time. No, there's a couple times that it didn't meet. So let's see, 2022. They had quoted it they had forecasted at 1.50, but it was actually 1.75 number. And then September 2024, they forecasted 5.25, but it came out to be a 5, so they dropped it unexpectedly that time. So that's the last time. September 2024, that was the last time a rate did not meet the forecast number. But I don't know.
Man, that's
I don't know. I just got this fuzzy feeling. What does the Fed tool say? It's probably going to say something like 90%, 95, 97. Let me see here. CME Fed Watch. So they've got the number at 97.4% to remain unchanged. And then September is when is still the first time they project to drop it. So 62.4% chance of dropping by 25 basis points September the 17th. And then same thing for the October meeting, December meeting. So, yeah, we're still projected 2 rate cuts because December they're projecting down to 3.75. So, yeah, it's probably just going to be a nothing burger on Tuesday or on Wednesday, but we'll see how that all turns out.
Did you definitely want to be cautious on that for sure?
Yeah, and this is just the dollar. I took all the other currencies out for the moment, but yep, same thing. Just kind of your standard boring Sunday, boring Monday when it comes to, economic reports. We'll get the JOLTS job openings at 9 a.m. on Tuesday. That'll be right after we close out our session. And then Wednesday, GDP numbers and Fed rates. So, yeah, today or this week, unlike last week, this week will be all about Wednesday.
Yeah. Last week it was all about Thursday. This week is all about Wednesday.
Yeah, because our standard unemployment and employment numbers come out, standard non-farm numbers. So, yeah, that's it. Everybody's going to be paying attention to Wednesday.
Yeah. I see RC's effect says no closed room meeting allowed, perhaps court decision Monday. Calls for JP the resign and cut on
Jerome Powell.
Yeah, he said check the squat box.
Yep. That was a very funny video watching them two chat, not chat, but they were up in front of the cameras. What, Friday, I think,
Yeah.
or Thursday? I was like, man, I wonder what's going on inside of Jerome Powell's head right now, like
Right.
getting called
Both of
out
them
for
mumbling
this
under
and
their
that.
breath and everything. Like,
Yeah, I always say, Paul, like I hate it. I never cared for politics ever until I started trading because I knew that you have to pay attention to it because
right.
it moves markets. And I tell you
Yep.
what, ever since I've been
Yep.
paying attention, it is the greatest reality show I've ever seen. Just because of moments like
Literally,
that.
I guess that when I was younger, I didn't even know things like that existed. Really, I'm like, are you serious? Like, people say this stuff. People, this happens.
Yeah,
Even about the Trump and the Elon thing about them breaking up is like it's just funny. Like, what? This is reality TV right
yeah,
now.
yeah, exactly. That's just the way I see it. Don't take it too
Even
serious.
today, I
Just get
seen
a
Trump.
chuckle out of
Trump posted something about him, and it's like a he posted something about it's like a cartoon, and it's like Obama driving a OJ Simpson Bronco, and it's him and JD
it.
Vance
Oh
like
gosh,
chasing him. Like, dude, why are you doing this? Like, this this is hilarious to
hey,
me. Like, why
that is that
you
is
do
just
that?
that is crazy. Let me see if I can pull up my
Oh
surprise meter real
man.
quick. Crazy stuff.
Yeah, that's
Let's see
absolutely nuts.
if all
Well, cool. Whenever you're
right.
ready, I can pull up some stuff, kind of see what I mean,
Yeah,
obviously the market just open. I'll kind of see what I'm looking at
yeah. Go ahead and switch to
here.
Michael back in. We'll see what he's
Yeah,
cooking up
I'm
for
gonna get it
us.
over to me really quick. Let me see what I'm looking at. Yeah, this is again typically where I just kind of look at everything, see see if there's any news or what's kind of going on, what days to kind of be cautious of. Yeah, that's mainly it. Now I'm adding to the routine of seeing what Tiger has on his meter to see what pairs need to be either bought or sold.
Yeah.
So gonna start putting that in
Well,
here as well.
I got to say, Michael, yeah, before I started paying attention to all the fundamentals, I was literally marking up all 28 currency charts. That would just take hours to do. And then I realized after I started getting into the fundamentals, I'm like, I'm wasting all this time marking up a chart that I'm not even going to trade. I mean, it's not for nothing. It was obviously good practice, in the beginning to find my zones
Right.
and this and that. But man, that saves so much time now just to look at that, just to look at some basic fundamentals, just determine a direction. I mean,
Right.
yeah, I can't
100%.
praise it enough.
One hundred percent.
Let me
Nah, I love it.
let me see here. I want to do this before they move it, since they're taking a minute. So this is the surprise
Okay.
meter I'm talking about. Okay. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah, Canada still the weakest. New Zealand, even though they sold off on the CO2 report, is still the strongest. But yeah, and the pound, it was up there too the last couple of weeks, up in the 60s. But it's again, it's coming down because of all the data. And then the U.S. dollar, which was at like 47% a week and a half ago, went up to 53% last week, and as you can see, it's already up over 60. So it's starting to get close to where I'd be considering buying on some pullbacks. I mean, it's pretty well there
Right.
now, but I just don't have anything to match it up with right now due to the fundamentals. But it's starting to turn the corner and get stronger. So yeah,
No, for
again,
sure.
Euro, New Zealand dollar, and the Swiss franc. That'd be the only three things I'd be interested in buying. I just got to wait for some pullbacks. So that's it.
Still looking at the JPY pair from last week that kind of never really moved forward. So I'm still trying to see if I can grab that CAD yen long.
Yeah, CAD
It's a
yen. Yeah,
little bit long on your what is that? A little bit over 57%, I think, on your surprise meter there.
yeah, that was the yen was 57, and then the CAD was
57.
43%.
Okay, cool. So
Back in, can you share Michael's screen, please?
yeah,
Back
we can get my
in,
screen up,
Mr.
please. Here, I'm gonna show a few things. I only got a few
There
more
we go.
minutes, about 2 more minutes. So
Wow, that flew by.
kind of get this. Yeah, this is exactly why I I don't like to hold pairs, especially imagine being short here. You definitely got it right now. Definitely. There's no question about it. Their stop probably right above this point here, and this thing is taking you out for sure. For
Yep,
sure, for
for
sure.
sure.
And also when I short Bitcoin, I'd rather buy it because at least if you are going to do something like that, at least you can like this where you're up now, right? So
Mhm.
huge, and this thing is pretty much trying to get back. Let's see, okay, so not too far away. 123. It's at 119. Well, yeah, this thing I would not be surprised if time highs again this week, like not one bit. Um, so yeah, definitely wanted to keep an eye on that one. And then CAD yen. So this thing is still long. It has not broken that box just yet to attempt to go short. So uh, let's see here. So we kind of still looking here at this 5200 cross, right? And again, we haven't had any price kind of pull off that level. We did have a would be, wanna be type of head and shoulder structure here, right? And I'm just looking for this kind of pull back. I'm just looking for this to take out these highs here. Something like this. Market baseline has already crossed to the upside as we can see here. So I am ready to take this long when it finally sets up the right way. I know we looked at this last week. I wasn't able to get it in the exact way that I wanted to, but I do want to set some alerts up here. I would have set an alert basically right where it's at, to be totally honest. Um, let's kind of see here. Let's check this out like I would normally do. And yes. Yeah, check it out. Make sure you take a gander at this. So cool. We'll look at that one. And then I just want to look at the pound pairs really, because since you mentioned get some short action going on, right? Any opportunity to short any of this, I'm going to be looking for it for sure. So, see, we got this fresh 5200 cross here. So, I'll be looking for that M pattern, right? Give me some type of structure here off that level. Oh, this is actually will be really nice because it got enough space to come all the way down here, right?
Yep.
So,
Good RR.
good. Yes, almost a say like a 3-for-1 nearly.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. Yep. This isn't actually bad at all either. Like I definitely want this to come back up here and hit this first. So this will be nice. Obviously, simultaneously, I do want to see that the market baseline will come up and give me that infamous reload, of course. I want to see it activate those long orders first before I kind of do anything with it, of course. So I will be looking for something like this on pound, on the GU. I'm actually really hoping this pans out, Tiger, because I want to see what these what our powers combined look like.
Yeah. Yep. Yep. Well, that's actually pretty close to where I put my alert. Yeah. I put mine a little higher, I guess. I put mine at 1.36 just because of the zone there, but yeah, psychological numbers. So yeah, that's a couple good spots. Oh wait, yeah, I forgot there is that other zone right there. 1.3573. Another one I'm keeping an eye on, but yeah. Yeah. What price is it?
Nice.
What price is that for you?
So I would want to try to give me some like a structure, but that price is at 34.85.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So I want to see something like this. And obviously, once again, because it's mainly because the 5200 cross, so I know I'm short. I just want them to give me that pattern. that
Mm-hmm.
bounce off this 5,200 area, so I can kind of see what's really happening. But yeah, this would be a good one if this sets up this week for sure.
Well,
Next
we'll
up,
just
we
have to
got
will the
JP.
market to our way.
Yes, for sure. This is a little closer, although I don't like how many hits this has done. I'll be honest, because once we got this 5,200 cross here, we're looking for M's, obviously. But as I always say, right, and this is what I mean when I say the TDI just has to agree with the chart, because you would have probably saw this like this, right? An M looking like this to go short, and probably would have tried to
Mm-hmm.
take it short here, right? But if you look at the TDIs I mentioned, right? Oh, it just happened.
Not matching. Not
What
matching.
was that? Oh, yeah, that was some magic that's happened. So if you look at the market baseline here, right, it's below the static. So if you try to take this here on the short side, this was not ready because it has no reload. And this is why I
Mm-hmm.
always stress that you need the chart and the TDI need to agree. So if you try to take this short, you kind of missed the read, because again, there was no
Yeah.
reload. And this is exactly why I say this every time. So for me, again, no reload, no trade. Now over here, this is a little bit closer to it, right? We got this move here. That looks much better.
Mm-hmm.
If we look at the TDI, we can see that the market baseline went slightly above the static, but we do have this outside the band right here, right? I don't like that went outside of this area right there. That's not good. So I will be looking for probably one more swing inside the band and then a drop. So
Yeah.
we'll see what we got here.
So that bust out of the band, that's showing a little bit of strength to the upside, a tiny bit. Is that why you wait?
Well, more than anything, it's because if it is going to make this move off this 200, it would be what I always call OBIB, outside the band, inside the band, right? So the fact that this is outside the band, this to me is the outside structure of it. So this would be, whoops, let me put it back up just a little bit. This area right here is where we're going to put my stop at. And just again, for the simple fact that I don't expect price to really go past this level right here. Not with this being outside the band like this. So I just want to see price give it one more test. And I want it to be inside of this band. Because remember, the blue outside is the Bollinger Band. So this little bit of area went outside. I want to see a swing again, but be inside the band. Right. So if it is to make one more move like this.
Yeah. What was your yellow line? I forgot what your yellow line was. Was that the in the TDI there? What's the yellow line?
So this is called
Is
my
that
market baseline. I call it the market baseline.
market based? Oh, okay. Gotcha.
Yeah. In that sense,
gotcha.
it's a liquid 50. So it's kind of like how I have on the chart, it's the blue 50 EMA. It's the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
It's just on the TDI, and it's kind of giving me the price above and below the 50 EMA, just on the TDI, if that makes sense.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Absolutely.
It just gives me a little bit more context of where price is in relation to the 50 EMA. Because the 50 for me is like the halfway mark, which is why I have the static, this dotted dash line is the static 50. So it's the same thing, except it doesn't move. It stays stagnant. It's not liquid like the market baseline
Yeah.
is.
Hey, Michael, I know we just got like 7 minutes. I just wanted to say, Let It Be was asking us about dollar Japanese yen before we get out of here. So we'll make. Yeah, I didn't know if you saw anything on your end from your system technically.
Not too much. So dollar yen. Okay, so I'm glad I already got this kind of marked up already, right? Because this is kind of showing us what I was looking at last week. And again, Sundays is typically when I take all of this stuff off because it has gone the other way or, dead at that point. But last week we were looking for shorts, as you can see, because the 50 EMA crossed to the downside. We was looking for some type of M structure move off this 200 going short. But of course, that did not manifest, so it's time to delete that. And at this point, we have the 50 EMA crossing to the 5200 EMA crossing to the upside now. So now what I would be looking for on UJ would be something more or less like this. Just kind of come up, give me some type of W structure going long, right? I want to see the market baseline go below the static, come back up for that infamous reload, right? And then I would be looking for longs to about this price point here. And I want to see the swing probably right below this. So not bad at all. UJ to the long side, almost a 3 for 1, at least a 1 for 2.5. Yeah, I'm definitely, I will be long on UJ. And mainly because, as I'm seeing here, once this 5,200 EMA is crossed to the upside, this is a long trade. I just want to see price do exactly what this yellow line is doing. Run up, kind of give me that first leg, second leg, and then run up to this exact price point, which would be around, let's say 4,900, pretty much right at 4,900.
Right. Yeah, and
so this would be
and
for me.
Yeah, and let it be. As far as I'm concerned, I'm not ready to trade UJ just because of the fundamentals aren't really lining up. I mean, it's currently given a -2, which means it's just ever so slightly on the negative. But I just basically personally need some more information. I mean, if we're looking at the dollar data this week, obviously the funds rate is going to move it around. We'll see what happens from the JOLTS openings. I mean, if we can continue to get some better news on those JOLTS openings, the GDP number on Wednesday, if we can get some good unemployment data later in the week, then that'll move it a little more to the bullish side for me. So then at that point, I might be interested in looking at it. But if you're just looking at it on a pure technicals, it just really depends on the system. I mean, Michael laid his out really well. As always, for me personally, I like deep discounts. So I'd probably be looking down at the 146 area to catch one of those demand zones or something like that. I don't really see. I don't really see anything else at the moment. So it's just kind of neutral. Kind of a no-go.
This could, and also just remember here, what is it? Letty B7. This is just what I'm looking at if this happens, right? Like this is nowhere near.
Right.
I know you said you're gonna buy UJ, but I definitely wait for some more context. Like even though I'm expecting this to go long, it's a long ways away from actually going long. So definitely look for more of the story. And this could not set up. This could, just how I wrote this way, right? This could easily, do something else. Like it could easily just run up here and, kind of hit that and fall down. You never know. You never really know what this is going to do. So just kind of be cautious.
So basically,
don't just buy it.
So we're just both in the same boat. We just both need some more information for our systems. So, but I mean, it's for me. This is probably as simple of a week as it gets. I mean, obviously that interest rate day is going to make some stuff fly around, but it's all about selling the pound. I know we got 2 minutes left. Selling the pound, and that's it. I had Bitcoin on my screener last week, but it's fallen off. So it's back to neutral at the moment. There's a few other things that are close. Oh, I'm trying to get all my data up here real quick. Click that.
I just got this alert on CAD. I'm not going to trade this, obviously, but let me see what the 4 hour looks like really quick. This wouldn't be ready for another 2 hours anyway, right? Because I will want to wait for this 4 hour close. As you can see, if you look at the previous candle, this is below the 13 EMA, right? So I wouldn't take this now, but in 2 hours and 16 minutes time, I may be interested in this going long.
Yeah. Okay. So when we start our evening one,
that'll be out the Discord. I'll if I do take it, I'll post it in the Discord and the trading arena. So just make sure you guys are checking out that channel if you're not in there already.
Yeah. Plus, I'm sure you'll probably lead off the show with it tonight, huh?
Oh, if I'm in it,
Yep.
absolutely.
Yep. Or at least talk on it or touch on it. So, no, that's great.
Sure.
We got about 40 seconds left. Until we start our later show, I'm just gonna do a little bit digger deeping into some of these trade deal. See if I can find some more details, and I'll be doing the news tonight right before. So 7:55 Central Time, I'll be doing the news for everybody, and then we do 8 to 10 for the quiet market session, and then he and I will be back on bright and early, 3 a.m. Central Time in the morning. So
That's right.
no rest for the wicked. We about it. We just do it.
Exactly.
We'll sleep when we're dead, right?
Exactly. 100%.
All right. Well, that's it for this quick hour. Flew by. But we'll talk to you guys later. Michael, we'll chat with you in a couple hours.
Yep. Absolutely. You guys hang on. We'll be back in a bit for the quiet markets.
Yep.
All right. Take it easy, guys. I'll see you in a bit, Tiger.
Take it easy. All right.
Hola Prime. Trade with transparency.